Hey guys, welcome to Deep South. Today I want to do a little bit of a different type of video talking about YouTube, editing, and some of the things that people ask all the time, and I try to answer them in emails and stuff, but let's see if I can answer them here today. First off, we get asked a lot about what kind of editing program do we use. I use Filmora. I've used Filmora for almost 2 years. And I use Filmora 9, but there is a Filmora X and there's a Filmora Pro. So there are different varieties, and I'm going to try and put a link in the description below for Filmora. We also use a computer. Now, according to what you're doing, which computer you need. I use an HP. I've had 2 HPs. In fact, I still have 2. They're older, both of them. One of them's 2 years old and one of them's about 4 or 5 years old. And so both computers are still working and I'm still using them to edit. It's easier for me to edit on my computer than it is on a phone, because I like the bigger screen and I can see what I'm doing, and I've got the buttons down from the computer to use, and one of my computers is touch screen so I can swipe it and things like that. And one thing people asked is, how do you get everything done? Well, when I first started editing, it took me a long time. I would edit a lot. Now I've learned a few little quick tips, I guess, that I'll try and explain off and on through this video that helps me edit a little bit faster. So if you're thinking about getting into YouTube, I would say one thing is you're going to need a computer. And you're going to need a editing program, and I do recommend Filmora because I like it. It's easy to use and easy to learn. When Danny and I first started with this, there were a lot of things different with YouTube than they are now. We were very blessed in the beginning to get in with several homesteading channels that helped promote us. We helped promote them. We even became a part of what was called the Homestead Network, which is a whole network of YouTubers that did videos or live streams, I might say, on a regular basis. That's what started our Saturday Night Live. We started doing a live stream every Saturday night, and we were at the same time at 8 Central. People got used to us being on Saturday night on 8 o'clock, kind of like Hee Haw back in the day. People had to be watching. My daddy loved Hee Haw. He knew when it came on, he was going to be there. So it kind of got to be a thing for everybody to watch Deep South Homestead Saturday night at 8 o'clock. So that helped us get a little further down the road. If you're starting out now, live streams is a big deal. So that's one thing I'd like to talk about, is the live stream. We've got so many things. I've got questions here. People have asked lots of questions. So I'm kind of rambling a little, but let's go to the live stream right quick. The live stream helped us get where we are now because people got used to it. But people want to know, can you live stream from a camera, and do you have to edit? Now the camera I have, I'm using a Canon M50 right now. I have a Canon TI5 that we've used for about 4 years now, and it needs a little bit of work, so I just ordered the M50, and I'm loving the M50. It's making life a little easy. I like how it operates. So if you're looking for a reasonable camera, the M50 from Canon is an EOS. It's a mirrorless, and it seems to be working fine. It has features that my TI5 did not have, that's making my life a little bit easier. Now I love the TI5 for a lot of the features it has. So each camera is going to be different, and it's according to what you're looking for. If you're looking for a perfect camera, you're not going to find it. I talked with Sarah at Living Traditions about this one day, and I said, Sarah, tell me what kind of camera. She said, I've tried them all. She said, one has a feature you like, the other one doesn't have it. She said, you can't get every feature you want on one camera. And I said, ha. Because I've been looking. And so to live stream from my camera, it does have the capability to wirelessly go through my computer, but again, you got to have a computer in order to live stream. I can use it like a webcam, I guess I should say. But I have not set this camera up as a webcam yet. Usually I live stream through the computer and a webcam. You can live stream from your phone, and when you live stream, no, you do not have to edit. But if you do something in your video, in your live stream that you don't like, you can go back in YouTube and edit it out. There is a part of YouTube now that will allow you to edit a piece of your video, any of your videos for that matter, out. You don't edit everything on there, but you can edit out some stuff. And if you learn how, you might could. I've not played with it that much on YouTube. So live streaming from a camera, you're not really live streaming from the camera, but you're using it as a webcam. We had people ask, do we script our videos, or do we just go with the flow? Well, 99% of the time we're just going with the flow. Danny knows what he's going to do from beginning to end, because it's usually building or gardening or something like that, and he knows what he's doing from minute to minute, and he just explains it as he's doing it. We don't have to sit down and write out, okay, first we're going to plow the garden, and second we're going to add fertilizer, and third we're going to plant the seeds, fourth we're going to cover it up, fifth we're going to water it. We don't have to do that. Both of us just kind of wing it through everything, as you can tell. All right, so we've talked a little about equipment. The computer, the editing program, you need a camera. A lot of people use their phones. I use my phone a lot to take the videos and the pictures that I need. Lots of times I will do a quick, with my phone, I'll hold it up and do a quick video and throw it up. If I'm working in the kitchen, I use my phone some, because I'll set this camera up to take some pictures, and then if I need something up close, I take my phone and get it up close and edit it in. You know, little mini shots, I guess. Some people call them B-rolls or something like that. So lighting, Danny and I do not have a whole lot of lighting, because you will notice in a lot of our videos that sometimes it's light, sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's awful, sometimes, you know, you never know. It is what it is. That's our whole goal. When we started YouTube, we're not making professional videos. We're making these because we wanted to teach people, and it is what it is. So that's some of the things that you will need as far as working. Now, I'm not professional at this, so I'm not giving you professional advice. Just know that. While we're talking about phones, let's talk about whether your phone is like this or like this. Now, when you do this, you're going to have black spots on both sides of your video. It's going to be the wrong way for most YouTube videos. Most people, when they click in and you got black spots on both sides, they click back off, because they say you don't know what you're doing, your phone is the wrong way. When you video, you're supposed to hold it this way, and it fits the screen for YouTube. Now, the new shorts, you hold your phone this way. It's just going to be on a short shelf for a short time. It doesn't really make you a whole lot of money. It might get you a few extra views. Shorts is just for those people that have a short attention span. That's the way I look at it. So if you film this way, it is okay to put it up, because people will watch it. I'm just saying. But 99% of the time, it's best to do it this way. What do you do if you edit on the phone? Now, I don't edit on my phone. I could. My phone is capable of editing. Maybe I should be capable of editing on my phone. It has a process here, but I've looked at it. I don't know how to use it, and I'm not used to this little bitty thing editing, so I never edit on my phone. I always put it on the computer. Everything I take on my phone, I switch over with a USB cord to the computer, and from there I edit. In the kitchen, people wanted to know how I set things up, and I explained a little bit. I use my phone and my camera. Sometimes I take my camera and put it right on the pot, you know, right over it somewhat, or zoom it some, because I do have a zoom capability. You don't want steam hitting your camera lens and messing it up. So you have to learn to set your camera back, zoom it enough that it's hitting the pot, whatever, and that's part of my kitchen. Danny redid my kitchen somewhat. He put new lighting under the cabinets, and it does help some. And this new mirrorless camera, I can lighten it up some. That's one of the best features that I like about the M50, is that I can lighten or darken according to what I need, and I think it's awesome. Music, where do I get it, and how do you use music and not get in trouble with YouTube? All right, that's one of the biggies now. I used to use a lot of YouTube music all the time, and a couple of years ago I found a site that said free music, free audio library, something like that. And it did not require that you used anything in your descriptions, or it had a little bitty tag that you threw in your descriptions, one of the two. I used a lot of music from that because they had some awesome songs, and I probably have 100 videos or more up that I used from the free audio library, and it was just on Google. Since then, it was fine for the first year, but after that, it started taking part of my money because of the artists started wanting their money out of it after a year. So I don't use the free audio library anymore that is on Google. I use simply YouTube music. It is horrible. It's not the best music in the world, but I play around through it and I find songs I like. What do you do with it? When I find something on the YouTube music I like, I take and download it to my computer. And so I have a file that has nothing but music from YouTube that is free. Now, some of the YouTube songs you have to pay attention, you have to give credit to, and you have to put that credit in your description. But I always check to see if it's free so that I won't forget. If it's free, I don't have to list it, I don't have to do anything. But I download every song I like to my computer. When I want music, I go back to my computer and listen to the songs, find what I want to fit the music, or sometimes it just whatever, and put it in the video, and then I don't have to worry because it came from YouTube, it was free, and it doesn't give me any issues. So that is one reason. And somebody wanted to know, how do you get it to the video? Well, in the editing program, there are several layers, and one layer is my film, and then I drag and drop the music underneath, and I cut and splice it where I want it in the video. Takes a little doing at first, but once you get used to it, it's not that difficult. Somebody wanted to know, how do I get everything done? Like kitchen, cooking, helping Danny, taking care of animals, gardening, YouTube, editing, answering questions. How do I do it all? It is not easy. I am somebody that is very OCD in some ways, and so Danny and I both are. We have our moments where we're looking at YouTube, answering questions, or editing. We have times that we just throw it all down, say we're not touching it, we're going out and do whatever we're going to do, we're going to work. When I need to cook, I'm cooking. I hate a dirty kitchen. I posted one time that, am I the only person that cleans her kitchen before she edits? And everybody says, oh no, I don't do that. I can't stand for my kitchen to be dirty and me in there editing. I feel like my kitchen needs to be cleaned and everything needs to be ready. I'm learning to let it go a little bit. There's times you're going to walk in, my kitchen's going to be dirty. I just can't help it. But I have to learn what is important, what needs doing at what time, and I go with the flow. That's how I get things done. Danny and I are not people that sit around all the time watching YouTube videos. So if you make videos and you want to know, did we see it? Probably not. If you send me a link, I'll check it out. But we don't sit and watch everybody's videos. I thumb through them and look at the thumbnails. And if it's something that looks interesting, then I watch it. But if it's not, I just keep thumbing, and I get 90% of the time, you know what everybody's doing by the thumbnails. Not the best thing. Watch the videos, guys. Do we enjoy making videos? Yes, we do. Most of the time, it's become a part of our lives. If there's something we're doing that we think we need to share, then we grab a camera. There's times I don't even tote a camera for days. And then there's times I tote it for days. So we're back and forth. It's according to what we're doing and what we want to be doing and what we want to show and share. And then the next question is, do we feel like we've shared too much? Yes and no. Sometimes we do. We've showed a lot of things that we do here, and we are very much getting toward this self-sustainable lifestyle that we've always wanted. Will we be 100%? Never. Never. You're never that. We're probably, Danny and I feel like sometimes we're about 70 to 75% maybe sustainable. We still have a long ways to go. We still have to go to town. We still have to buy stuff. There's no way we could make all the lumber and the metal and all this stuff for building. We still have to go to town. I still have to order clothes. We still have to order our sugar and things. I went into town and I bought butter and things like that. Yes, I have cows and I could be milking, but with all the projects we have, I can't do it all. And that's the answer to your question. I can't do it all. Sometimes I have to figure out what is best for me. And just like today in town, I bought 2 loaves of bread. Now I can make my own bread. I make some fabulous bread. But I figure over the next few weeks, it's easier for me to open a loaf and eat a piece of bread because I don't have time to make bread. I've got a she shed to build. So it's about priorities. And it's how you line up your day and what all you do. Danny and I have settled into a routine where we know kind of what we're doing every day, and I work the editing in around it. Sometimes in the afternoons I edit, sometimes at night. Do we pay for views? Danny and I have never, ever paid for views. We thought it was a gimmick, we thought it was a joke, and we have laughed about it since we started YouTube, and we did not pay for views ever. When I get those things, I delete them out of emails. I thought it was just somebody doing something stupid, so I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Come to find out, lots of people pay for views, and I'm like, really? I was really shocked this past year to find out lots of YouTube people pay for views, and I'm like, no. So we never have paid for views. We don't intend to pay for views. If people watch us, they watch us because they want to, or because they accidentally clicked on us, or whatever. Doesn't matter. But we want honest views. We want honest people, and we stick by that from the time we started to now. We want to build honestly, and so far our channel has grown from that. Not because we paid somebody to view our thing or whatever. Is YouTube worth it? It is, and it isn't. I always have those yes and no answers. When we started out to pay for a phone bill, make the internet pay for itself. And it took us approximately 2 or 3 months, and we were making a check that paid for our internet bill. At that point, we had AT&T, and it was landline, almost like dial-up. It was slow, and we actually live streamed off the landline. It did work. But if you go back and watch our first live streams, the first year, maybe first 2 years, I don't even know, they're horrible. The whole setup is bad because we were having a lot of trouble streaming. But we managed to stream, and people stayed with us because they just wanted to talk to us in the chat. The live chat is a really good way to interact with your audience. And I'd say within 3 months, we were paying for the internet bill. That was our goal, to make that work. Once we reached that goal, then we decided, okay, can it pay for our other bills? Within 6 months, we were paying for all our bills, and it's continued to do so throughout the years. But we're religious. Danny and I put up a video every day, sometimes 2 and 3 videos, because I have crazy days, and it's at one point we had All God's Children going, and we still have Patreon. So when I have to put up videos, sometimes I might be putting up 1, 2, if not 3 videos a day. That's not very often, but I do put up at least 1 video a day. We do take Sundays off usually. Now occasionally I will break that rule. We live stream every Saturday night. That's one of our biggies. And we've made it work. Throughout the years, being religious, being every day with it, we miss a day occasionally, and that's okay. I mean, if we do, that's fine. But we try not to, because people come to expect Deep South to be up at a certain time in the morning and every day. And we try to stick with that. but sometimes we need a break, and sometimes we just back off for a few days or a day or two along. It has now become very well worth our effort here to work with YouTube. But that is not our only source of income. We also have our Etsy store, which does very well. Danny does some consulting here and there. We have our affiliates. A lot of our affiliate links, which will be in the descriptions, we make a little bit off of them. So we have a diversified way of making a living. It's not all YouTube. If it was all YouTube, it would be very, very iffy. So don't think that you'll make a killing on YouTube. Diversify. Most people have a job outside of YouTube, and YouTube, if it starts making enough money, becomes their job eventually. But to start out with, you want to have fun. If it starts making you money, good, go for it. But just enjoy it. We set out to document for our kids and our grandkids mainly. That was another big thing. Danny said, if my grandkids ever want to know what was Grandpa like, what did he do every day, they will be able to see it, because they don't live here. They don't live with us. They don't know what we do day to day. And sometimes you might just want to document it for your own kids if they're small, so that when they get older, they're going, oh, gee, that was fun. I loved watching when I was little and things like that. So my thought would be, have fun with it. And if it starts making money, then yeah, hey, that's great. But you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a certain amount of time in order to monetize. So if you do not get 1,000 subscribers right quick, don't feel bad. It takes a while. And it's great to join collaborations. There's a Facebook group called Small YouTube Homesteaders. Join that group. Get to know the people in the group, and when you put up a video, ask them to check it out, see what they think. That's one way that a lot of the smaller channels are now interacting with each other, getting new subscribers, and then start branching out. It's kind of a game. You get so many subscribers, you get to do this, so many more subscribers, you just have to keep working with it and enjoying the ride. So guys, I don't know if I've answered all your questions or not, but I've tried to sort of kind of give you a little bit about what we do with our videos. Editing is really not that difficult. If you played around with the computer, any at all, you can figure out the drag and drop or the cut and paste and things like that. Filmora and Filmora X and Filmora Pro are great programs. They're easy to learn, they're easy to use, and I think you would enjoy just the process. Editing gets to be addictive. Once you learn one thing, you want to learn something else. And once you figure that out, you're into something else. And you want to be able to make your videos the best they can be. And if you're good at it, you might even make them into little mini TV shows. The people love that if you can do that, but I don't have time. I learned how to edit, and I learned new little glitches along the way that make mine better, and I just have fun with it. Danny and I talk about it all the time. YouTube could go away tomorrow. You never know, so don't depend on it totally. That's why we have a diversified income. If something happens, then yeah, we'll miss YouTube, but that's one of those things you don't ever know. It's a iffy situation. People could quit watching us tomorrow, and then we would have no income. It's all dependent on your views and your likes, your comments, and your shares. And we don't always say like, share, subscribe, comment. We forget that because that just seems repetitious, and Danny and I don't like that whole repetitious thing in our videos all the time. But it helps if you will like the video. That puts us in an algorithm. It helps if you will comment. It helps if you will subscribe. All these things help each other out. Danny and I just forget about those things sometimes because it's more to us, let's get the message out, let's tell them what we're doing, let's show them what we're doing. And those type things go by the wayside. If you want a intro, make an intro. I've tried the intros. I forget to put them in. I'll be religious with it for a day or two, and then I'll pitch it out and I'll forget it a day or two. And I'm like, what's the purpose? People see the same intro over and over and over. I never liked intros unless they're really short. And so I tried that and it didn't work for me. And at some point in the future, I hope to have just a little quick intro in front of everything Deep South. But that again means I've got to, every time I edit, remember to add it in. I know this video is a little bit different from what I usually do, but we get so many questions about how to start YouTube, what to do, and all this. I don't know how much this has helped you, but I'm trying to answer a few questions, and it's worth it for you if you want to document your lifestyle and what you're doing. I would recommend not showing everything you do. Danny and I do not share every aspect of our lives. We share what we want to share on YouTube, and that's the way it should be with everybody. You can edit on your phone, you can edit on a computer. Either way, it's whatever is best for you and how you can afford to do it. I would not suggest buying expensive equipment and starting YouTube unless you can afford to. We started out with a little bitty Canon SureShot or something. That's what we started out with. Then we got the TI5 and we've used it for 4 years, and I just bought the M50. So make your equipment last, take care of it. I guess that's the biggest thing I can say is take care of your equipment. Make it last, because sometimes YouTube does not pay. You can be making a good check and then it'll drop down. I've had it where my check would drop in half from 1 month to the next. So you can't depend on the money to be the same all the time. It's according to views and stuff. That's what I'm telling you. So that's another biggie with YouTube. Your check can be up and down. You won't ever know from month to month. You can't really calculate the exacts, I guess. Thank you guys for joining me today on this crazy video about what we do with YouTube and editing and things like that. I hope I answered your questions, and if you have more, just shoot them to me and I'll try to answer them. So thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.